you guys for showing up. Let's get back into our D&D 5e campaign. Last we had left off, after the battle with the two dragons, the black and the red dragon that was attempting to sink the ships of the Empire and the Draconians alike, you had successfully defeated the dragons, saved as many of the Draconians after their ship had been capsized as you could, and made your way to shore. The fleet of the Empire following behind, and in the near decrepit state of Drillheim, managed to pull in, dock the ships there, and plans began between the leadership of the Empire and those of the Draconians here in Drillheim. Two paths were decided upon, the first being to refortify Drillheim as sort of foothold for both the Empire and just a way to reestablish that trade route between the Empire and Draconia, and to make their way to the capital city in Draconia, Metchroma, to figure out exactly what is going on. And when you approached, it was offered to you to take the position of traveling to Metchroma alongside one of Juka's Conians. You agreed, and as the Empire and the Dragonborn here were working together to get some fortifications in place, shore up supplies, you made a connection with a tree, made some plans, said your goodbyes, and made your way out of Drillheim and towards Metchroma, following the lead of, what was the name? Vos, the brass dragonborn, Juka's right-hand man. Traveling through, you got to a place perhaps about halfway, a little more than halfway into your journey, a stretch of wasteland that Vos had explained to you was the home of some metallic dragonborn. The path they took through there was straightforward, as they didn't really, as you learned, that the Draconians, the Dragonborn, didn't really interact much with the dragons not much with the Dragonborn either. They stayed out of each other's way, although their relationship, from your understanding, was peaceful. Small windstorm kicked up, forcing you to drop your windwalk state and take cover. When it cleared, you had begun to notice silhouettes, forms, shapes. You had come to realize that they were corpses of dragons. And as the dust and debris and the wind died down and settled, and your range of your vision expanded, you began to see more and more of these corpses. Scattered about pretty much as far as you could see. Some smaller, some larger than the ones that you had fought before. No real sign of exactly what has happened quite yet, as when we left off, you had just begun to realize this. So, if there are not any questions or anything else to add, that's where we'll pick up. You all are standing amidst this amidst the Badlands. The ground is dry, cracked, hard. You're near the dragon that you had seen. Uh, it appeared to be perched on a rock, but on a large rock. But now you see it's kind of just draped over it, and you were examining that dragon as the winds died down, and you saw further out into the wasteland more and more of dragons that seem to have met similar fate. There's a moment of silence as the six of you, as there's also Vos and Sven credited here, just begin to take in the surroundings, the curiosity and slight confusion apparent on some faces. So, what are you guys doing? As you had approached the uh, vulture-like birds that were scavenging at the corpse of this dragon here, uh, flew off, flew away, and you can see there are more such gatherings of these scavenging birds throughout what you can see in the wasteland, picking away at the corpses of multiple dragons.
This looks pretty bad. Do you do you think there are any left alive? Or I mean, is that why the ones that were attacking Drillheim were attacking it because they survived this? Whatever this was? Is?
I don't think the ones in Droheim went there after this. I mean, unless directly, like, maybe told to. Not like there was much in Droheim for them to, I don't know, live off of. But yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this. We could do some investigation, see if we can figure out something from here. It could be information we bring to the capital. I'm sure they're already aware, but maybe they're not.
Svenkrid agrees, at least figuring out what this is, who or what allegiances these dragons are. If they are friend or foe, were they fighting each other or did something else do this to them? Based on looking at the wounds that you had found earlier on this one, it seems as if, well, it's not unlikely that another dragon had done this. Can I get two people to make a perception check, please? Call it out if you're the one that's making it.
I can do that.
All right. Who else?
I can help.
Okay, so go ahead with advantage, Duran.
23.
23. Alright. As you had mentioned, doing some investigation, and Svankard was looking at the dragon, you just scanned the broader picture, trying to figure out, maybe piece together the story of what happened here, at least some of it. You hear the cries and shrill calls of these scavenging birds, and it kind of blends into white noise as you look at the scattered bodies of the dragons, their shapes and features varying, differing almost from one to another, some more similar than others. But what you notice is, from where this dragon that had found its end on this large rock here, the scattering of the dragon seems a bit spread out, sparse, and the further away from you that you look, it seems the more densely packed the fallen dragons are, as if where you are now is sort of at the fringe, the edge of whatever transpired. So, basically where you are now, there are less dragons in your immediate vicinity, but it seems like there are more if you were to continue, like, further into the wasteland.
Is it out of the way of where we needed to go?
Yes, it is. So the road, the path that you guys were traveling on, this large rock was kind of like right along it, and right now you guys are looking basically off of that path that Vos had been leading you on, and the further out you look, at least from your vantage point here on the ground, it seems there are more corpses. Like, you were only able to see this one, and then maybe a couple more as the storm died down, but the more it died down, obviously the more and more you were able to see. It seems like whatever conflict was happening, you guys are at the fringe of it, almost as if this dragon maybe was trying to escape or fleeing from the conflict or the event that led to this, and all of the other dragons dying, but only made it this far.
I know we've wasted a bit of time waiting to make sure this was safe, but if we want to get some more information, we'll probably have to go further into the wasteland.
Wouldn't be that much time just to look, right? We could go as wind. Maybe not traveling as fast to look, you know.
Vos speaks up. The wind has seemed to have died down some, so it should be safe to do so, but if it picks up again, I just don't wish to be stuck in a bad position. If there are more dragons further in and they are unfriendly, well, that would be cause for concern. That, and the natural denizens of these badlands are nothing to take your eyes off of themselves. I'm not even sure what manner of creature makes its home here, as when we travel through, we stick to the path, and we stick to the path for a reason. We're careful. I see the value in finding out as much as we can of what happened here. especially if the capital of the crown does not know. It would be important news to bring. Svenkrid speaks up. At the very least, we should find if these were other invaders rebuffed by the local dragons, or if something happened to a potential ally.
I'm gonna go up to Era and just kind of like touch her arm and be like, are you okay? You've been really quiet. I mean, this is at the very least sad and shocking, but
It's just, I don't want to be rude, but if this is what we're seeing now, then I don't know how likely it is we're going to find something. And while I do want to stick on the path, I also agree that finding out more is maybe we should, of course, be cautious, but if we have a chance, or even finding an ally, or knowing what happened, then we'll have more information, right? And I think that's worth more, but not at our safety.
So, are you doing some more investigation further off of the path? Or are you continuing on the path towards the capital? And if you are doing investigation, how are you going about it?
because I don't quite remember, did we still have time on Windwalk? We dropped it just because of the storm, right? So we still have Windwalk now?
Yes, you do. Yes.
Okay. So that I would vote that we investigate with Windwalk. I mean, because you can control how fast you're going, so you don't have to go all,
Yeah.
300 feet per second. I mean, if you
Yeah.
want to get to the center and look at it, closer to whatever happened, we could just zoom there,
Yeah.
But that's, I guess some of that could have been in character. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I forgot if my serpent thing broke or if I kept it based on the roll.
No, you kept it. It didn't break.
If she had it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
could
would have
use
remembered if it did.
I could use Arcane Eye as well, but that's only 40 feet. If we needed a reach, I guess that would be maybe useful. I don't know. But
It seems
Windfall.
like that would be as. Oh, you're speaking in character or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Bad.
That seems like it could be useful with a situation where, well, I suppose if we're going as wind, there's not many places we could not fit. But if that comes up. So are we sticking together or are we splitting up? Some go further, see what they can find. Others maybe try to figure out exactly what kind of dragons these were. Try to piece together whether they were fighting each other, something else happened.
It might be better
Like-
to stick relatively together. Just not too far off.
I'm just unsure. I want to make sure that we have enough time left on the mist forms to, at the very minimum, get us out of this wasteland. I'm unsure how much time we have left. looking to elevate.
I'm not sure either, but I could recast it. I mean, I don't know how long we have left. I don't.
You have about, well, from the time that you had to drop the form, but the spell was still running. That took a while. So you have about half of it left, 4 hours worth. Then.
Okay, so we have about half of a a couple hours. But if we stick together, I could recast it if we needed to get away. If it was going to, if we weren't going to have it long enough. Just
Okay. So yes, I suppose if time is not an issue, then yeah, we should stick together. I will also, Vos picks up. I will also mention that while time may not be as important to us getting to the capital for those in Drillheim and for, well, I understand you have a ways to make transportation of persons and supplies easier between the capital and Drillheim, that we don't know whether anyone was watching those two dragons that were watching Drillheim, and if their deaths may have angered something or someone. There are many timelines that we are working on towards right now, and I would just like to remind you of them.
well, we're not wind form. I mean, if Era felt up to it and wanted to, we could check in and make sure that Drillheim is still there. I mean, that our allies are still there. I mean, I can't. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be the way that. Well, actually, yeah, that's silly. Never mind.
If you want me to make contact, then I mean not contact, send a message, then I can. But I'd rather make haste now with the time that we have left, and with this, I don't want you to waste anything else. So
I agree. Let's, if we're going to take a look, let's go take a look. Let's agree. We can move quickly. So if we find anything that might merit a revisit, we could always return after we make our way to the capital and inform them of the situation with Drillheim. I can't imagine much will change here, but we should put eyes on it now, I believe.
I think so too.
All right. So you see as Svankard begins taking the time to turn into the mist form, the extremities beginning to become translucent and then wispy and vapor-like until after about a minute he is in wind form. Are you all following suit?
Yes.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
So you are all mist forms. I would like somebody to make an investigation check for the. Let's see. So for these, so for this for this, I would like somebody to make an investigation check for looking at the corpses of the dragons as you pass by them, heading further into the wasteland, trying to determine similarities, perhaps trying to see what kind of color, shade, hue, metallic sheen that they are. Who would like to do that?
I can do it.
All right.
Did you hear my roll?
Nope.
Oh, 27.
27. So, well, a lot of these dragons had the color fading from their scales. There is enough on some of them that you see what appears to be predominantly two differing types of dragons based on the color of scales. There are a few ones that don't lie within these two groups, but the vast majority that you have seen are these two groups, one of which are green-scaled dragons, and the other brass.
Wait, so predominantly the scales are green,
Well,
mixed with
there are
brass.
There are two. So of all the
Yes.
dragons that you, of all the dragons that you looked up, there are mainly two different types that you've seen. There's green dragons and brass dragons, it seems like, and there's a mix of them amongst the field of corpses
okay.
here. Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't know shall, but say it as they. Oh.
Sorry, you're cutting.
Am I cutting it out? Oh, okay. No, it's okay. I guess as like they're passing by and stuff, I'll just kind of explain that out loud. Not gonna scream it, but you know.
So you do that, and you go and check another one, and even though you're mist form, you're still a little bit startled as underneath the fallen wing, a large insect-like creature, maybe about the size of a large wolf.
I'm gonna fireball it. What do you mean, large insect?
Yeah, you're gonna fireball it as wind?
Oh my god. I'm in my you know what? Instinctively that's what I would have done though.
Can you cast spells?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Just fireball.
You tried it. You mentally. Yep, there you go. You mentally fireball, like your mind goes through the equations, and you don't have hands to weave signs.
Yeah.
So the edges of your wind is flailing, but you don't. That doesn't quite work like that.
Why isn't it working?
Yeah, squares off with a hunk of dragon flesh between its.
Ooh. I do have a question about the dragon. So like the corpse of the dragon, is it like, can I tell if it's something that's recently happened or quite a while ago, depending on like either blood or the status of their corpses?
Make a medicine check with disadvantage, as you're not too familiar with the anatomy or any of that such of a dragon. You're not sure the rate at which the body decomposes, etc., etc.
What role was it? You said medicine, right?
Medicine, yes.
Ay, qué bueno. Oh my god. No bueno. The second one. Just the one. Don't. It's not even.
One?
Yeah.
Natural or?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any sort? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're not only skeletons, so it can't be however long it takes them to just be skeletons, and that's all you got.
Oh my god. I'm not even gonna bother making a comment to that. I'm just gonna be like,
they're not skeletons.
Corpse.
They're not skeletons.
No,
so...
I refuse to say that.
Guys, they're not
You can think
skeletons.
it, though. You know, it's just in your mind. You're like, well, at least they're not skeletons. Otherwise, it made this really hard, you know?
I got secondhand embarrassment from the thought alone.
The thought of, like, you're about to, like, hey, guy. No, never mind.
You take 1 point of emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Hey, Neri,
Yeah.
remember those books we were reading about, like, Bahamut and stuff? Do you remember what kind the green dragons were? Or, like, they're like groups, right? Some against others, I think. I'm trying to remember it all.
That question kind of came out of nowhere, so let me try to think if I remember.
Are you just talking about chromatic and metallic, right?
Hi, yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand. So yeah, you guys read the book. You understand basically, like, the book on that had stuff about Bahamut and Tiamat, and their whole feud, and where, generally speaking, metallic dragons would align themselves with Bahamut and chromatics with Tiamat, and that was a cause of a lot of conflict between the two sects of dragon. Although, like with people, there's more nuance to it. It doesn't mean that there's never conflict between metallic and metallic or chromatic and chromatic. But as far as, like, the times of the Scourge, it was very much divided amongst those lines. Or rather, pre-Scourge, I should say.
It's just we were talking about potential allies, so I was thinking, you know, maybe the, brass ones might have been potential allies, right? Because that's what the book. Well, I mean, I know everybody's different, can make choices on their own and all that, but,
They possibly could be, maybe, yeah, but was it the brass one that we met at the desert?
He feels the copper.
Well, they're almost the same color, kind of, when you look at them, as when you're comparing it as jewelry. So sometimes I just get confused a little bit, and I mean, there's so many of them anyway, so I get confused.
Right?
Anyways.
Jeez, there's so many of them, and they all look the same. It's just like, how do you even?
Oh my god.
You have to try to remember which ones are on the other side and which ones aren't. It can be a little bit confusing if you don't really get into it.
I just thought the copper dragon was pretty funny. I mean, it was cool, I guess. I mean, we thought maybe we were dead, but I'm glad that we weren't dead.
Yeah, thankfully.
All right. So, you have established that for one reason or other, there are now many dead green dragons amidst many dead brass dragons. Again, the sizes vary from smaller than the ones you had fought to slightly larger. And the total body count that you have seen so far, in total, all combined, is probably somewhere around 60 to 70.
Because you're able to tell, I mean, Aaron, how the different, you can kind of distinguish them, it seems like. Does it seem like one side has more not alive than the other? Or is that like too impossible to gauge from what we're doing? Because I mean, I know it's hard to probably identify which is which, but I'm looking and well, I lost count.
For the area that you have traveled inward, which there's still more yet in front of you.
Can I guess go forward? I mean, I'll it's like it's too hard to tell off one area, but predominantly as of I'd have to keep searching, maybe.
From what you've seen at this point, it seems close to even. Maybe a bit more grass than green. But again, there's still more in front of you. It's just from what you have seen so.
Okay. I don't want to really say anything quite yet. Can I just like keep going and
Keep going?
Yeah.
Alright. Elevorn, Era completely ignores you and continues forward.
Elevorn just kind of silently nods as wind, and you can't see it because she's wind. Thinking, Era must be really concentrating on this because I lost count at like 15.
What? Yeah, Elevorn's sitting there with one boot off. How'd you get that high? Wait, you're wind. You don't have fingers to count on. What do you mean you lost count at 15?
Imagine fingers.
I have been practicing. I can count to like 20 now. Thank you.
I have been practicing.
Math.
Math. Alright, so.
She's been going to school.
Yeah. Continuing forward.
You guys think I'm trancing, and I'm not. I'm just counting my fingers and toes.
So, continuing on, Era takes the front. You see more of these large, wolf-sized, skittering insectoid creatures that occasionally, like, unburrow from the ground, sometimes burrow into it. And you're not exactly sure what they are. You've not seen these exact creatures before. However, they are just big dog-sized bugs. That's all you really need to know. As you're continuing forward, not at full speed, but just continuing on kind of slightly faster than what a normal pace would be. Maybe about 150 feet away from you, not directly in front of you, you hear a shrill cry that sounds like a larger version, a louder version of the sound that all of these scavenging birds that have made their way down to the dragon's corpses has made. And it cuts through and pierces through the air around you and gives you all pause as you see very large version of these vulture-like creatures, like rock-sized, fly down, land with a crash in front of one of the dragons, and basically shriek and yell and cry out at the scavenging birds that are around, causing them to flutter up and fly away as this large rock-sized vulture bird begins to pick away at the corpse of the dragon. It itself may be 3/4 the size of the dragon. Its wingspan probably even larger than the dragon itself.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can Can I smell as air? I mean, not me personally, but can I detect scent? As
What are you trying to do? You're just trying to
Like-
smell? Can you
like,
smell?
how bad does it smell? Because there's a lot of corpses here.
Yeah, it doesn't smell great. And it is.
Well, I mean, once they reach a certain point, it is like the worst smell, and then like it comes down like it, because when stuff decays, it's like it's like a
Yeah.
plateau, like it reaches
That
a
nice
peak.
decomps.
Oh, not good. Not that I just started thinking about it.
How
and
do
I
we
was
know
wondering.
this?
How do you know what?
How do we know
Can
this on
we
a
smell
personal
a
level?
sweet-
That things
'Cause
smell bad
stuff
when they die?
dies.
But like the
Yeah.
exact the exact like there's the peak of bad smell when
Peak of
something
bad smell.
dies.
Yeah, you just leave the dead thing in the corner for a bit. You sniff it every 12 hours or so. Record it on the smellometer.
For
and
science.
Come back. Yeah, for science.
I was a squirrel. Thank you.
Uh.
I was waiting for her to wake up.
I was waiting for it to wake up. Oh dear. Well, we all learn in our own unique ways.
Does wind smell ultimately?
Yeah, that's...
Can I smell as wind? I mean, you can see, you can hear, you can talk. Why not? I probably will draw the line at taste, however.
But we don't have opposable wind thumbs. I can't believe
Wind
it.
thumbs. Oh, okay. Yeah, as you smell with your thumbs, do you? Is that...
Yeah, you have to have it out. Thumbs up and
How can my feet smell if I don't have a nose?
Oh, trust me, they can.
It's pretty bad. It could probably get worse. It could always get worse.
So it's been a while, because because if they had just really recently died, it wouldn't be too bad, probably. But if it's, like I said, I'm kind of asking in a different way to check
Yeah.
how long they've been dead.
Uh,
So if there's
Yeah.
a roll involved,
They're not skeletons yet.
oh,
Make a
week or two.
sure. Go ahead and make a perception check, a smell-ception check. Cross-referencing your internal database of dead thing smells, you take a big old whiff, and it's not good. It's not pleasant.
is it 16?
16. You'd place this somewhere between say 1 to 3 weeks. Somewhere in that range.
So, just going off of the smell, it's been maybe a few weeks, maybe one, maybe hard to tell. I mean, I'm sure you all notice the smell.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with this smell.
It's also, based on just the size of the dragons themselves, obviously take longer to decompose, so, well, you were a squirrel probably smelling, a small field mouse or whatever it was, that smell would come and go in a much shorter amount of time than a dragon.
Yeah, they're bigger.
Yeah, yes, they're bigger.
So, I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly how long, because I don't think I've ever been around something so big that isn't alive. So,
I guarantee if I wasn't wind, I'd throw up.
Are you going further?
When they're having their buffet right now, are you crazy? I would be hesitant to go forward with those things eating. Well, I mean,
Right now, you just see the one large,
Like-
huge rock.
yeah, but if
One-
it's
They're
eating,
still-
it's busy. You know, that's how you keep.
oh,
that's
you
how you keep
absolutely
animals
right.
busy. Is you feed them, so it's eating, so it has food. I
I'm
mean,
convinced.
sure, it could
I'm
be just a
convinced.
murder bird, but you know,
Murder!
We just try to stay away from it. So
And its natural prey is wind.
that doesn't seem.
That's
Why
okay.
in the
It's
sky?
okay. Neri will protect me, right, Neri?
of course.
Oh my.
Why wouldn't I protect you?
Of course.
That's. I'm Era. Why wouldn't you protect me?
Yeah. I'm air.
Air.
That made you laugh more than it should have. Just being honest.
Air. Get. Sorry.
Funny.
Now all you need to be is like next in line to the throne to something.
Ah,
Kingdom.
yes.
Then you got them all.
There you go. The air.
There he goes.
The heir to the throne, Era.
Just reminds me.
Unfortunately, Era,
And the time that you reign would be known as, before you
You're
reign would be
the era of the era of era. Unfortunately, due to a slight typo, we're gonna have to rescind your title. So yes, there was in fact an error when appointing you the heir era of heir.
Time to stop my
And I
billing.
think I'm done with that now.
Oh man, that reminds me of a video Tuna sent me the other day of like
What?
there's a particular accent that says a sentence where it just sounds earn, and that's the whole sentence.
It makes sense to me.
I have to find it. I will find it actually.
Okay.
But keep on going.
Yep. So, speaking of keeping on going, are you guys keeping on going? Era seemed convinced that they're eating, so they're not a threat. That and Nedadion's oath of protection to you. So Era leads the way. Since you are leading the way, Era, please make a perception check.
What the fuck is up with my rolls today? Okay. 1.
1. You don't see shit.
I shouldn't be leading.
You should.
Somebody take the front.
The smell is so nauseating.
The
She can't
smell, it's
see
stinging
like
my
getting in their
eyes.
eyes.
Ah, I don't even have those.
That is how powerful the smell is.
Oh yeah, this is so powerful it makes you mutate eyes just to sting them. Alright. Since I normally give 2 people the chance. Elevorn, care to back up Era, who seems to be
Yeah, okay.
going off to dry heave as a mist of wind? Mist of wind, you say? Yeah.
That is a 19.
19. at the pace that you're going, after about 30, 45 minutes, the scene below you as you're flying above these dragons' corpses, it changes slightly. It seems like there are areas where there are more densely packed, as if, and then after that, there's stretches where you see maybe only one or two corpses for that entire length of time. You get to a point where the ground itself seems to change slightly. Previously a flat, cracked, dried wasteland, you're now beginning to see these larger, almost pillars of rock that begin to break through the ground and reach skyward. The ground itself turns to something of almost dirt, sand, clay-like. And looking forward, you can see this almost in like a sort of a sinkhole-like, I would say, like pattern or image, hundreds of feet across, hundreds and hundreds of feet across. Just a large circular, almost like something had collapsed inwards on itself. You can see some of the large spires or large wooden, not wooden, stone pillars had fallen and collapsed and rest on top of it. But just a large, almost hundreds of feet in diameter, sand, kind of sinkhole looking phenomena. The ground itself is apparently solid from your investigation, but it doesn't seem, at the very least, it doesn't seem totally natural. Seems like something happened to cause this.
Well, since I have, like, transmuted earth and stuff, does it look like that? Like, because that turns it, like, soft or...
Doesn't look like it's been turned soft. It looks like... From just what you could see, it looks like it's slightly below, like, the ground level where this starts. There's maybe about 10 to 20 feet varying throughout of, like, a sheer kind of cliff that encircles this area. It just seems like this entire area just kind of shifted and fell. This large circle just fell in on itself in this very specific area.
So I'm going to, I don't know, what can I do? Just be like, hey, what do you guys think that thing is? And I can't point at it. I don't know. What thing? That big circle thing, you know.
The thing that Era somehow didn't see, yeah.
Also, I'll be right back.
Okay. I don't know about you guys, but it is warm.
I haven't left my house. It was icky yesterday.
Icky, you say?
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was like humid.
Yeah,
I imagine it's similar today.
probably.
Or if you're saying it's warm, it's worse.
Yeah, well, I'm in a part of the house that doesn't get great airflow.
Right.
So I'm upstairs right now. All of our nice AC and fan situation is all downstairs.
Yeah, this room has nice AC, but I've been spending most of my days on the couch playing Final Fantasy 16.
16. How's that?
Amazing.
I've heard. I've heard some people like it. I've heard one review of someone that doesn't because apparently it's too linear,
Um,
which I
it's
don't really see as a
equivalent.
problem.
It's equivalent to 13 so far.
I never played 13.
Oh, well, most of it is, um, given you're given a big world map, so it's not open world,
Yeah.
and you can navigate to different areas from that world map.
Yeah.
Um, and there are side quests to do so far. Nothing too crazy. Most of it is following the main story.
Okay.
So yeah, it's about so far it's about like 90% linear, with minor side quests on the side.
Which is like I kind of don't mind that necessarily.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't need to have like all of the generic repeated, quest whatevers. Like
Yeah.
go collect these things, go kill these things, blah 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 blah. I'm okay with having a story.
And the story, I mean, the story is kind of generic at the moment, but it's
Mhm.
it's powerful. Like even though all of the tropes are there, if you've seen a
I've heard
billion other
it's
story.
Final Fantasy meets Game of Thrones.
Final Fantasy meets Game of Thrones. I've heard a closer resemblance is it's basically Naruto.
Naruto?
Yeah,
Final
have you seen
Fantasy
it?
Naruto. I have.
I haven't, so I don't fully understand it, but like the general idea is every single nation has
Mhm.
something called a dominant, which
Okay.
is someone that can turn into an icon.
So every single village has like somebody with a tailed beast inside of them, a big old kaiju monster.
Right, but instead of the difference I've heard is that they're usually feared in Naruto, whereas here
Yeah.
they're kind of revered. The icons are kind of gods. So
Okay.
it's kind of cool. Like the nation that your main character is from is fire. So instead of like saying "Oh my God," they're like "Oh by the flame" and stuff like that. Like when they're
Mm.
surprised, and they have a little national anthem, and it all has to do with like Phoenix and fire and stuff like that. And I think it's cute.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. But ultimately,
Carnation.
yeah, ultimately everyone.
Carnation attacking people
Yeah.
again.
Oh no,
Again, always.
actually, actually no. they're
What?
they're not doing too hot.
Ha! I get it.
They're not doing too hot. Every one of these kingdoms are basically, well, this is the giant overarching story because obviously this has nothing to do with the actual main character, but all the kingdoms are basically trying to get resources because there's some sort of blight that is overtaking the land. So everyone's fighting to get to like the mother crystal or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Final Fantasy
And
game
so
based on a crystal? That's
a
crazy.
bunch of wars. I like what they did with the crystals too, is that like the crystals all are used for it honestly reminds me of 11. And there's a lot of stuff that reminds me of 11 in the game too. The crystals are used as like their element. So if you need a cup of water, you can use a water crystal to provide you with like a cup or a bucket of water. If you need to light a
Okay.
fire, you can use a fire crystal to do that, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. Because like magic, like everyone can't just do magic.
Mm-hmm.
So
So they just have crystals instead.
little fancy world building things that are in there.
Okay. Okay. What about what do dark souls do?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen all of them yet. I've seen fire, water, and ice so far.
Ah. How rare are the crystals?
Very.
Very.
Yeah.
And people use them just for cups of water.
Well, buckets of water mostly,
To
or
light a
providing water to a
campfire?
well.
Oh, are they like not eternal, but like like you could just sit like a crystal in a well and it'll replenish it, or is it like a one-time thing?
It's a one-time thing. You would need another
Oh.
crystal. Alternatively, they have people that they're called bearers. They're born with magical powers, but when you are found as a bearer, you basically are turned into a slave
Oh,
because
to
you do
provide
what a
water
crystal, yeah, you could do what a crystal can do, but for, well,
without a crystal.
it's not free. After after some time has come, every single time supposedly that you use your power as a bearer, there's a chance that you succumb to a curse of some sort. They call it a curse, but I think it's really just like you've depleted the aether that your body can generate, and then you
Sure.
start just turning into stone.
Ah,
And it's an incredibly painful process.
excellent. Let's force them to do that.
Yeah, it's terrible. The world is not a nice one at all.
That sucks. I can't imagine playing in a game where the world's not nice.
I will also say you've never seen a Final Fantasy with an M rating.
That's
And
what I
and that
heard
makes a
is.
fucking huge difference.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's kind of why I think I heard it's like Game of Thrones meets Final Fantasy. I've heard it's like back to like the medieval setting kind of thing. There's uncensored swearing and all the vulgar stuff that Game of Thrones has. I think that's maybe why the person that said it made that comparison.
There was one scene where they were running from something and the guy was just saying fuck 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 fuck. And I'm like, this is why they put in the M rating. This scene
That's
right
it. That
here.
one scene with that one guy for the whatever bit of comedy that they got out of it, they made an M rating. Or they just like, we just want an M rating. And what can get people to pick up Final Fantasy again? Oh man, give it an M rating. How do we do that? Just about 7 fucks. Let's do that. Will that do it for us?
That did the trick.
That did it. They broke the code. Are we all here?
I'm here. Obviously.
I know you're here.
I'm still here.
I've been back for a little bit.
Oh,
I've just hijacked it. My
yeah,
bad.
right?
I mean, I said so in the chat because you guys were talking. So
I didn't notice.
Interrupt
I
me.
wasn't sure what you were talking about.
Please interrupt me whenever I'm talking.
Whatever.
At first, I was like,
time.
"What happened?"
Every
While I was
time.
gone for a minute. Crystals. What are we doing?
Crystals, yes. I'm changing the campaign to be more Final Fantasy themed.
Yeah, we can no longer cast magic without crystals.
Yeah.
Unless we're bearers, and then we're put as slaves.
There you go. Perfect. Sorry, Eric.
Yeah.
Oh well. Happens,
Imagine needing a fire crystal per fireball.
Oh,
That would be a low magic campaign.
I like that idea. I like that idea.
But seriously, I had thoughts.
Okay.
Okay.
So those spires and stuff, could they be like where the dragons have their nests and stuff? Or I mean, do they nest communally? Could this be like a dragon town that's like, because of those weird wolf bugs? Because you can't just leave your eggs out because they would bother them. Like, I mean, sure, you can protect them, but not all the time. You have to sleep sometime. So, like, what if that's what they are? I want to see.
You want to examine the rock pillars?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, unless, like, getting close to it, it seems like there's no way a dragon could be up there. I mean, they could also just... I don't know. Do you have to sit on eggs as a dragon? Or do they have egg? I don't know how this works. Do you know how this works? I kind of think of them as birds, but they're not really birds. They're dragons. That's different.
I haven't had the pleasure of seeing dragon birth.
Not
We are not the same either.
the same. Alright. So getting closer to one of these stone pillars that has not collapsed. You don't see anything where, maybe a dragon would be perched. It doesn't look hollow. It looks fairly solid. But it also doesn't seem 100% natural. That and the positioning of these pillars definitely seems like there was some planning involved, as if it was marking something, marking a place, a location, or being used in some other sort of way. And the pillars sort of line the perimeter of this sunken piece of land. And again, the area that had seemed to have collapsed in on itself is a fairly circular shape, maybe about, I want to say 300 to 500 feet in diameter.
Okay, so if just wondering, like if Eleborn is picturing a bunch of dragons having a marketplace there, does that work? I mean, do they fit in that space?
Your imagination, yeah, yes.
No,
They
I
would
mean, like,
dragons would fit in this place, yeah.
okay, that's what I was asking.
Though, yeah, yep. 300 to 500 feet in diameter, yes, the dragons.
But like one at a time, or like a couple, or like I don't know the size of a dragon versus the size of the thing that you're. So I'm
the
like,
dragons that you have seen here, this space, if you line up a dragon, like let's say one of the dragons that you had fought, end to end, you'd probably get somewhere between, like, just eyeballing it, somewhere between 12 and 20 lined up end to end. That's, nose to tail. In this area, the section that seems to have been collapsed, you can see that there are more dragon corpses. About a countable number, about 9 or 10 just off the surface, and they all look as if they are of a similar type, a similar species of dragon, or color of dragon, just based on the body shape and the pattern on the frills and the shape of the jaw, etc. Though these seem, as you get a little bit closer, a bit nastier than the others, a bit more badly injured. You see some without, some that seem to be missing limbs, a couple that are just missing everything from the neck up. But whether or not you want to go down into this area, this circle of land that has been dropped and collapsed in about 20 feet, is up to you.
No, it's not up to me. I'm definitely going in. I have no self-control. Like, this is too, like, what is this? This is something strange, but something that is created.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh no.
Hello?
What?
No, it's dead.
What kind of wire does it take?
No, I'm okay. As long as you guys aren't echoing, I can hear you now. Are you
Oh,
echoing?
okay.
Echo, echo,
No.
echo,
Oh, wait. No, Sully is echoing.
echo.
Just trying to adjust the volume to where it doesn't pick you guys up. So I had
No,
to
I'm
jump in the
kidding. I'm
laptop
kidding.
now.
Just say she was echoing because she was.
Echo.
Yeah.
All right. So I kind of missed the latter bit of what you had said after you said that. No, it's not up to me.
Elevorn's crazy. She's going in.
Oh, Elephant's crazy. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just too. What is it? It's too interesting. It's too curious. It's like
Just
what
go.
is-
Just keep going back.
Yeah.
Just go to the capital. It's okay.
Just
No.
Let's go to the
Okay.
capital.
Mm.
Are you saying the capital isn't interesting?
Yeah. What are you saying?
That's messed up.
This is right here, though.
This is right here.
Can't like dangle these things in my face and then be like, no, you're not allowed to do anything with it right now. You have to go to the capital first and then come back. I'm like, no, it's right.
It is. I'm just not taking the steps for you. You have to take the steps yourself. If you want to go down there, I'm not going to force you down there.
Dive.
I'm not gonna
Traps.
land. I'm just gonna go look closer.
Okay.
Dive.
Is anybody going with her?
I will absolutely go with her.
If I see her, yeah.
All right. So, what are you looking for, Elevor? What are you looking at first? So you go down, and you are now below the ridge. Again, it looks like there's an area that someone just cut out a large circle and dropped it about 20 feet down. So you have this sheer wall of about 20 feet of land that surrounds this area. And it's in this sort of makeshift, or like, sort of looks like a ring or an arena, kind of, that had just naturally been caused by the collapsing of this circular area, is where the 9 or so dragons that you had seen from the sky lay slain.
I'm gonna look at the edges of the platform thing.
Okay, what are you looking for?
I don't know, is there any gaps? Does look like it was moved, disturbed? Can you could they fit in there? Like underneath it? Like is there stuff below it? You know.
No, it's just like literally you just cut a circle in the ground and it fell down a bit. Seems like it just collapsed, like a sort of like a sinkhole, but like the ground itself may be unstable. Something happened to cause this area to collapse, but no, there are no gaps between the ground and the rest of the ground.
But sinkholes aren't perfect circles.
No, not generally, I guess. I don't know. How many sinkholes have you seen?
1.
Ah, I didn't say perfect. I said it's circular.
I mean, those people are mining here, but people avoid this place because it's the dragon's territory, right? I mean, I guess it wouldn't stop them from going underneath. Are they like subterranean dragons?
I mean, different dragons make different places their home, different layers. It's not impossible.
Alright. So. Well, could I go look at the dragon that is missing everything beyond its neck or whatever?
Sure. Go up and looking at it. See that it appears to be more similar to the green dragons that Era had pointed out in its features, and even a bit of coloring on its scales.
Okay.
You also, just a point of note, there have been none of those circling, scavenging birds in this area.
Guys.
Yes.
Guys.
I'm gonna go closer to Elwan. What?
Remember when we were like trapped in that cave underwater?
I rather not. But
Yeah.
It was very circular. Like, this is very circular, but it's not open. And its whole head is gone. But what could do that? Something very big, right? Because the big thing was eating the big dragon in the water. Maybe there's like not aquatic versions of them here. Maybe there's like land versions of those things, and that's why there's. I don't. I'm scared.
You make me think of those big, giant, wormy things, that we met at that one place. I don't even remember if we
The
heard.
purple one?
Yeah, whatever those were. I don't really. Chompy dinguses.
If Elvorn had hands, she'd be like, winging them around.
Whoa! Alright. So, Svenkrid goes to a different dragon's corpse. Then another and another before making his way back to you guys at this headless green dragon's corpse. And it seems that all of the others in this area at least are also, were also green. Not seen, at least the ones here, not the other kinds we've seen so far.
Do dragons get bigger?
They do, yes. Say the ones, from my understanding, the ones that we've faced so far have been anywhere from what we would call adults to young adults. They do get a fair bit larger with age.
Like big enough to do this?
Not sure the extent what they are capable, but perhaps. I mean, at that point it's difficult to differentiate what I know for sure from rumor and myth.
Question to the voice in the sky.
Yes.
When we were studying the dragons on the books, and there was time and everybody, but was there like a picture or any kind of sort of mention about the size of Tiamat? Or even Bahamut, maybe?
So, with Tiamat and Bahamut, a lot of what you had seen, read in there, like, after hearing Svenkrid say this, like, you felt it fell into that sort of realm of legend, lore, and myth. These larger than life beings, these deities, were depicted as such. You recall seeing, I think it was the image of a depiction of the two clashing, and they were as large as a mountain. I'm not sure how true that is, but that's how it was depicted.
If given by the books, or judging by the books, yeah, they definitely can get big if we are to believe the books, and if we are, books are always kind of valuable, but yeah, they can get quite big, I guess, like bigger than mountains.
I thought they were joking when they said that, but maybe not.
Well, that is Bahamut and Tiamat, not exactly your
Yeah,
average
but this is what he thinks, kind of still. Just trying to,
Yeah, they're just normal dragons. It's like anyone else.
Since the vultures aren't bothering them, and since they're all green, maybe this is where we could. I don't know. Like, how would you? I mean, maybe it's being watched. But, I mean, obviously it wouldn't be super safe to just be like, hi, we're here to talk to you, because, I don't know what we could do against something like that if it decided it wanted to eat us, but...
Who are you talking about? Vos asked.
Well, I mean, if it's all green dragons, then maybe it's a big brass one, and the big brass ones are the good guys, right? Maybe.
Hopefully.
There should be a... Yes, this area, this land, is the home, as far as we understand it, of brass dragons. Whether or not this area that we're standing or hovering on right now is a place of importance to them, well, I'm not sure. It definitely doesn't seem as such, as far as, well, what I can see. There was something here. It's not anymore. There's a lot of area here to cover. And it would take some time to investigate if that is your goal.
Why wouldn't the vultures be here? I just mean, there's no... If there isn't anything protecting it, then... I mean, maybe...
Just could be that this is a place that... maybe they... instinctually avoid, or... they avoided this area before whatever happened here happened. And even though they probably would be safe to come and feast, something tells them not to. Maybe this was a place of importance, a place of dragons, a place where they would have avoided.
Too bad I can't just go ask them. They probably would bite me. Oh wait, maybe if I'm a vulture. We could all be vultures. You know, chat them all up and see if any of us can find any information. It's faster than just looking around. Why are they avoiding this place? You know? Or what happened? Maybe they saw. I don't know. I can't just talk to them though. I don't think they would like that. Because sometimes I do that and it works, but I have known a vulture type thing and it did not like me. So I assume they will all hate me. I mean, most birds are rude, but these ones try
Most
to.
birds are rude. Just in general, birds are rude. Okay. So, are you vultures?
I mean, do we want to do this? Are you up for it? I mean, we'd have to. It could. I mean, would they fight us? I don't know how vulture society works.
I don't know either, but I mean, the plan otherwise sounds pretty okay to me, you know.
Being anything other than wind here holds its danger, and I thought when we were coming out here that we would do what we're doing here safely. Well, Voss, you could stay in your form, investigate here, while those who wish can go out as birds. And if anything happens, you know the way to the capital. You can bring this news there yourself.
Yeah, lookout wouldn't be a bad idea. And as a wind form, you're not that detectable, and you can't be harmed really.
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
I'm down to being turned into a vulture at this time.
Okay.
If we're doing this, that is.
If we do this, Voss is staying behind or going in. From my understanding, like towards the capital.
No, I don't think he's heading to the capital. He'd wait for us, but
No, he's not going
So
to
he-
the capital. He just
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
wanna
So he would
not
just
be
stay.
wind.
Right.
And then if something befalls you all while you're out being vultures,
Yeah. Okay.
he can finish your group's objective and take word of Drillheim and stuff to the capital.
I think. Yeah, I think I'll go as a.
You'll do what?
I'll go with you guys if we're intending to move forward.
Is everyone birds? Or is anyone staying as wind?
I'm going if everyone else is, but I don't particularly like this idea.
Wait, hold on. So, wait.
Talk to them.
So, what would be the advantage being a vulture versus continuing?
We can talk to
I
them.
think it's
Oh,
finding
so
out
talk-
stuff. Yeah. Learning about what happened, the area, something from the vultures was the plan, I think.
Sounds like we're about to fucking enter a battle, to be honest. Okay.
Vulture
no.
fight. Good thing I
Yeah,
have all my
vulture
vulture
fight.
minis ready for this.
This
exact
is what you were
situation.
planning.
Yeah, I got one with little Phoenix Academy robes. I've got.
I fucking knew it. Okay. Yeah, then I'll go as a vulture.
All right. So I think that's everybody with varying levels of enthusiasm.
Well, I mean, if it's not a good idea, it's fine. Sometimes I have crazy ideas. I just was thinking maybe we could find out what happened. Maybe. I don't know if they would pay attention. Of course, they'd steer clear of it if they were fighting or something. But maybe I don't know which dragon belongs here. You know, like, are we in green dragon territory? Are we in bronze dragon territory?
Brass.
Do they see color? Yes, brass.
Brass.
Sorry.
No,
Okay,
Vos,
brass.
Vos,
Yes.
it's
I'm
most
sorry.
certainly brass dragon. This is not, nor has it ever been green dragon territory.
Oh, good.
It's
So you
the
know.
complete wrong continent for that. Just
Oh.
as black and red dragons do not belong near Drillheim.
I didn't know that. So I mean, maybe we don't have to be a vulture because you know stuff.
Well,
I mean,
I
that was-
need to know that. This is where the brass dragons called their home. This wasteland. I don't know about this area where we are standing specifically, as I've never ventured off of the path that had been set to travel through here.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I was just thinking that, well, it just sounded like we didn't know which dragon area this would be, and there's a bunch of not alive or dead green dragons here, so I, you know. But since it was the brass, it's.
Should not be green dragons here. Can only imagine. From what we have seen now, it seems clear to me that, well, imagine they were fighting each other. Green dragons came over, for whatever reason, decided to attack. Brass dragons here, and, well, the outcome. Can't really tell what their goal was, or if they accomplished it. All I see is death.
Yeah, I don't really think vultures would know why they attacked or what was going on. I just thought maybe they would know the area, you know, like what to avoid and why they aren't feeding here. But that's. We don't necessarily need to know that right now, I guess. As long as we know that this is, you know, brass dragon territory, that's probably good enough, right?
I suppose so.
I mean, I want to come back because this is just weird, and I mean, whatever happened here seems significant.
Doesn't it seem like it's a weird place for these green dragons to have died? Everywhere else that we've seen, there was a mix. You could sort of piece together that they were fighting. But here, it is only green. Were they placed here after? Or something else?
That is what I was wondering. Like, why aren't there vultures here? You know? Because that is an indication that it is scary to be here. There's something big here, or something
Don't
protects
we see any
here.
brass dragons either?
Maybe they're a warning.
Perhaps. So, are you guys going to continue? Are you guys going to investigate the area that you're in further? Or take what you found out and head back to the path and proceed to Met Chroma? Or something else entirely?
Well, I feel like we've met the minimum requirement of information that we wanted to have. Everything else is going to be time and risk. how much we want to invest time and explore risks.
I feel like what we have isn't enough either, though. Meaning that I feel like it would have been a waste of time in a sense. How long have we spent here so far in total?
In total, from the time that you had misted up and headed out from that rock with the green dragon on it to now, I would say about an hour and a half. Which means you guys have, well, on this casting of Windwalk, about 2.5 hours left. Well, how about we compromise then? We cannot keep chasing answers where there may not be any. At least not while we have other obligations, Era. This particular area does intrigue me. Let's see what we could find out here and around it. Maybe those pillars have answers. Maybe there are answers right beneath, well, where our feet would be. But I don't think we should, as Devandas pointed out, head further into the wasteland than we have already. If we've not found any true answers yet, then the amount of time that we'd have to spend to get them might be too much. Or we agree upon a time. Hour, 2 hours until this spell wears and Elevon needs to cast it again to investigate what we can and find out what we can. Afterwards, we use the next spell to continue back to the path, head to the capital. This is my suggestion.
We all know I'm pretty curious, but what do you guys think?
Well, I have to say I'm a little bit curious myself too, but we could come back, yeah, if we're not going to do this now.
We could come back on our own time.
I think we should not waste more time and
Okay, just one quick look at the pillars then.
okay.
Okay. So, I want 2 separate investigation checks from who's looking at the pillars.
Uh, 23 for me.
Okay.
Was it 15 if nobody else is looking?
All right. So, both of you eventually realize Era finds it out before Elevorn does. These stone pillars, each one between anywhere between 40 and 150 feet tall. Sort of obelisk-like in shape, starting off wider at the base and tapering off a bit before they reach to the top. Some of them shorn off at the top like a plateau, maybe like able to be used as a perch of sorts, and you could easily see on at least some of them that, yeah, this could fit a dragon. You can see a dragon perched here, laying here, of a dragon that you've seen before. Era, you notice though first that every maybe 30 feet or so, your wind form moves past one and you notice some dust and debris being shaken loose, but there are brass bands that uh, seem to have been either placed around or actually like built into the rock themselves. But these brass bands that make their way around the entirety of these pillars at equal distance from each other make their way up the pillars. The bands getting smaller and smaller as the pillars taper off. You check another pillar and another, and each pillar does have these brass bands around them. Out of one, you realize the same thing.
Is there like any indentation either into the band or the rocket, like, or like encryption of some kind, words carved?
Encryption. No, they're just brass bands.
You mean like metal, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if anybody's near me, be like, do dragons mine stuff? I mean, that seems like that'd be impractical, kind of. But maybe it's not. Maybe the caverns are really big. I mean, do all dragons want treasure? Because, I mean, it could be made from treasures, right? But they're all the same kind of metal. I mean, do you see this era, too? Right? I mean, it looks like the pillars have jewelry.
I mean, dragons are known to hoard, and yeah, this appears to be brass. So
this place has some significance to the brass dragons, or at least a brass dragon.
I mean, does that mean that there's dragon forges, too? Like, how does this work?
wouldn't it be more like, what was it, a resting place?
You mean like a graveyard?
No. No.
A place of rest.
Yeah, but how did they make them? I mean, did you see them? I'm like trying to tank them with my not hand wind.
I imagined a dragon mining, but yeah, I see.
And like, they're dragon miners, there's dragon smiths and forges, and where is all this stuff? Maybe it's underground.
Under here.
Well, somewhere. Maybe not here exactly, but I mean, like, how do you get this much? Like, how many coins is this? This is too many coins, yeah? If coins are even made of this, are gaming coins made of this? I
Do not believe so. But
I know we found the. Oh. I'm confused.
what are you
Me
confused
too.
about?
What we see, so we see four. How many pillars? Four
No, much
or
more.
various?
Plenty.
And they're
Yeah.
oh right, and they vary from what
Like
was it,
40
to
to 100.
100?
There's smaller ones, there's taller ones, and they're all generally around the perimeter of this sinkhole. Some of them had been caught in the sinkhole you see and had collapsed
Oh,
and now
hmm.
laying like crumbled and broken in the area that you had seen the green dragons as well. But yeah, that.
Okay. And then on the pillars there's the brass.
There are
Okay,
brass
so
bands around the
and
pillars,
there's an
yes.
indent. Oh, like so it goes around the indent, right? Is what you're saying?
I don't know what you're saying, the indent. You
Well, you
mentioned an indent. I never did. I
oh,
just.
The sinkhole.
listen, Cole. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
the sink. Yes, yes, the sinkhole. Correct.
Okay, so maybe this was the entrance, and it has collapsed. They collapsed it. They ran in. They're trapped in there. No, they wouldn't be trapped. They could dig, right? I mean, if they
Yeah,
they
they're
live
miners. Of
underground.
course they can.
And this is the only one, right? Like in this
Well, that you
current
can
area.
see the only such like sinkhole type thing that you have come across thus far and can see from here. Yes. Again, you guys are like 45 minutes to an hour wind walking in, so you are quite a ways away from the original path that you were traveling on.
But it's still open where we are.
Yes.
Okay.
Urge to reverse gravity rising.
Hmm.
Do it.
You can't. You'd have to find a place to do it because you can't hit the
I'm,
whole area.
we're on the ground right now, in wind
Right
form,
now, you are above ground.
above.
It's too big. I couldn't lift it all, and I don't want to break it. Maybe it's supposed to be this way. I mean, but it knocked that one down, so probably not. And I don't want to knock more down. That would be bad. I think. I don't know what this is. Seems like this took effort, though. Right? This is weird.
Do we think anyone maybe in the capital might have some information recorded on this particular area?
Vos speaks up. All we really, all I know at least, um, leadership in the capital probably does know more than I, is that this is where the brass dragons, this is their territory, these wastelands. And, well, they left us in peace, we leave them in peace. I
I see.
cannot. Well, from what we know of them, like we do not interact as much with the dragons. We have our civilization and they theirs. Rarely do we interact with one another. Though we do understand a bit about them, as I'm sure they understand about us. And each group has their brass, silver, other kinds of dragon. Generally speaking, is led by, well, the oldest, or most powerful, or influential amongst them. And that leader, that brass dragon, supposed to reside here in the wasteland. Can't imagine whatever happened here. I can't imagine any leader not being involved in some way. Well, there are much fewer dragons than there are people like us. So each one here that lay dead is a much more significant impact than some of us may see in similar battles. What the implications are of green dragons have even gotten this far inland. This far into brass dragon territory.
Well, there is no doubt that all of this death is troubling. I guess at least we haven't seen a dragon of that size or power. No.
Hopefully that is a good sign.
Like I said, these look like maybe they're a warning, Maybe this is where it resided, the powerful one that you spoke of. And that is why there was such care taken with all of the,
You think that the lair is here, it's home. And what, the green dragons collapsed it? It collapsed it itself? And left them as a warning?
Perhaps.
Or-
Maybe it was protecting something else. Maybe there is more beneath. Like I said, I don't know anything about them. I'm just guessing because there's those wolf bugs that are like burrowing in the ground, right? Maybe they're a food source. So it is possible that, because it's very barren here. I mean, I don't think the brass dragons eat plants. Maybe they do, but there aren't plants. So if they did, it'd be a problem,
Do we have the time or the means to... Well, it's kind of hard to determine as wind whether or not the ground in this area is stable or not, but we see there's something below. Do we have that kind of time?
Well,
This is a large area.
Well, we have a little time on Windwalk, and like I said, I can cast it again. So we could investigate on foot, or I mean, wind can get in places that we couldn't physically, and that's kind of what I was checking for along the edges, as if there was any kind of gap anywhere that I could fit, to see if there was an underneath.
I guess I could try to also see if I can make some spot a bit more bigger, because I have this fancy ability I can do.
Okay.
I'm gonna go around and just search around, like if I can find a spot that maybe that goes deeper and has like rubble or something that I can lift out of the way with the telekinetic movement.
Okay, so you're going around the perimeter. That's what Nedadion is doing. Elavon, Era, Durand, anything? As Nedadion is scoping the perimeter of this area.
Well, I would like to help do that
Okay.
too.
Sure. Era, Durand, Elavon, and Nedadion are currently investigating the perimeter of this large sinkhole. Is there anything that you guys want to do?
The center or in the sinkhole itself?
Okay. Durand?
I'll help as well.
Elavorn and Netadion split off Durand and Era. So, investigation check from each group. Choose some.
$18.
Okay. Netadion, Elavorn.
26.
So, around the perimeter, you find the two of you do find some areas whereas when you could fit in, but more often than not, you find it only going down maybe a few feet, if you're lucky, a bit more before you hit either loose or hard earth that either which way blocks your path as in your wind forms. The deepest that you manage to go, snaking and making your way down through the cracks, maybe about only a few inches wide, is like 20, 30 feet before you come to another block, dead end. So it seems like it does go down, but there is plenty of earth and either loose or more compact that hampers your movement forward as wind. Some of it seems easily movable, others not so much. $18 for Era and Duran. Making your way through the center of this area, past the corpses of the green dragons that lay here. Again, these ones seem more mutilated, mangled, viciously dispatched of than others. The point where you see like dead dragons with like a severed wing, and the wing is 10, 15 feet away. You spot something coming out of the ground. At first, it looks like a bit of the one of the pillars that has collapsed and crumbled, which you've seen much of here. But getting closer, it looks like bone of some sort. More than that, it has a little bit of a sheen to it, and it looks like it's the very tail end of, well, a tail poking out through the ground.
What if I turn to normal and I pull it? I have turn to normal and I pull the tail.
Oh, you turn back into, so you take the minute to go back? Alright.
Maybe. I mean, it's the most out of place thing at the moment.
Sure, go ahead and make a strength check. As you do turn back into normal, you feel your weight return to you, and standing on the ground here, it does shift just a little bit under you. It's not as hard as the cracked earth that you had been on before. It is more clay-like in its consistency. Like hard, dry clay.
Interesting. I got a 15. 15.
Was that 18?
15.
50? 50?
No, 15.
Alright. So, holding on to it, it's ambient temperature. It's rough in places, smooth in other. The scales themselves are fairly smooth, and you pull, and you can see as you pull the earth that had been covering it. It's like pulling a weed out of the ground, kind of like the earth breaks and cracks as you pull it. You're only able to pull it so that maybe 3-4 feet is uncovered, but you're not yanking a dragon out of the ground.
Right.
But yeah, you pull and you can definitely feel the weight of something on the other end, so it's not just a small severed bit of something.
So a whole dragon's just buried here. And it's been a while, obviously. It's skeletal.
Not skeletal. The bones themselves are like the spikes that are like that would run down a dragon's back and tail.
I see. Damn, but still, a whole dragon's buried here. That's crazy. Let me turn back to Mist.
Okay. So obviously, Era, you would see this.
Yeah, I would see it. I don't think I would go out of.
Miss.
Um, I mean, judging by like the tail, what was it? The tail? We can't tell like what kind of yet.
It had a bit of a metallic sheen to it. Yeah. It was slightly reflective. It was actually had a bit more like recognizable color to it than the other dead dragons that you had seen. And though slightly faded, it looked definitely metallic, definitely brass, and how do I describe it? Tinges of like a pastel green type color around the edges of the scales.
And this was the only spot that we saw that like those like indications that there is one buried, but
the only spot that you'd seen a dragon tail jutting out of the ground? Yeah. So far, yes. You'd seen other, like, dismembered parts of the green dragons around, but they were more or less, on surface level.
Ella had mentioned she had some sort of fancy magics. Maybe she has a way to dig in through here or something to see if there might be some more we could find out. I guess just making a mental note of the location.
Okay. You're gonna go find Ella, or bracelet her, or can you use the bracelet in wind? Have we determined that?
I think we have used it.
Okay.
I can't remember for sure,
I don't see a problem with it. You can bracelet as wind should you desire.
At least I really feel like we have used it.
Yeah, I feel like that's right. So what are you doing, Durand?
Um. Sure. I'll mention it in the bracelet. See if
Okay.
you want to come by, check it out.
On my way.
All right.
I'm gonna go too.
All right. So you all convene at this partially unearthed dragon's tail.
Alright, so I guess I have to not be wind, so I'm going to do that first.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop being wind too, because just if there's help needed.
So
Okay, so it's like, a 50-foot radius, 100-foot high cylinder centered on the point within range.
50-foot radius, 100-foot high cylinder, centered on a point within range. Okay.
Okay, so does that seem like that would work for what I need? At least a little?
It would certainly do something. You're talking about reverse gravity?
Yes, reverse gravity, because, this is smaller than that giant rock thing. I can't lift that by myself.
Hmm. Sure. So making sure that people are out of the area, I'm assuming. What point are you centering this on?
Well, I guess I would have to guess which way it's buried, right?
Yeah.
Is, like, a fair amount of the tail visible, so, like, I could follow it, like, upward, like, just, because that would be the area.
About like 4 to 5 feet of the tail is visible.
I think that's enough. So just...
Can I actually just use the telekinetic movement to lift like some amount of dirt? Just
Yeah.
to, help
So what
to
are you trying
uncover
to
the
do?
tail.
You're just
A
trying
little
to
bit
uncover more of the tail?
Yeah.
Okay. So using the telekinetic movement to shift and move the dirt away, you
I'll like
uncover a little bit more of the tail.
yeah.
The further along it goes, it seems like it's going, the tail is moving down, like deeper and deeper buried. So it would take more to unearth the ground. It doesn't seem like it's like, horizontal. It seems like it's buried at an angle.
Yeah, I'm just because it says that on the first I don't have to use a die, but I have like 10 dice, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
use all of those.
You using
So
all of
that
them?
I'm gonna use all of them. So that amount of
Okay.
however you want to
Sure.
judge it.
So as Elevorn, you're trying to gauge or guess at which way the rest of this body goes. Nedadian begins to lift and move and psychically dig out a bit. Again, the tail itself seems to be buried at a sort of angle. And by the time that you finish all of your uses of it, the brass scaled tail with these greenish looking imperfections on it continues to become unburied, and you unbury it to the point where it feels like You should have gotten to the end of tail, but haven't yet. Just gets wider and wider, and with each little scoop of earth you telekinetically uncover, you're expecting to begin to see the hind areas of a body, of a torso, of legs, but still tail.
This really long ass
You've
tail.
uncovered maybe about, with all of your dice spend, about 25, 30 feet of tail, and it is buried. At this point, you've got a nice little hole about 15 feet deep. The hole itself, you're basically just uncovering the tail itself, so it's like the hole matches the contour of the tail.
Well, that's it for me, at least. And it seems like it just keeps going, so...
Does this affect or change your plans at all, Elevorn?
Mentally exhausted.
Whew, that was a workout.
Workout of the mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, under slight attack.
Under slight.
Counterattack. Evasive maneuvers.
Okay. I was listening. That is very disturbing because okay. No, it doesn't change my plans. Hang on. Let's see. Well, I guess maybe think.
Oh, bother.
Okay. So it looks like it's at an angle.
Yeah, it's it's continuing deeper as you uncover more of it.
So we'll follow the angle that Neridion had uncovered and do it there, I guess.
Okay. So, like, it's a point that you can see, right?
Yes.
So, I'm wondering how it affects things under the point that you can see. You know what I'm saying?
The physics. Tap into the inner workings of the science of your world. Become one with the soil.
Okay. I would ask, what are you anticipating? What are you visualizing happening?
I'm gonna uncover more tail.
So you're using
And
it as
nothing's
like
really
a
gonna
makeshift
happen?
move Earth kind of thing?
Yeah, I
No,
guess
wishful
so.
thinking.
I'm just asking what you're trying to accomplish with the spell, because this isn't a conventional use of it.
All right, hold on.
Which is fine.
So, like,
I'm just trying to understand.
your best outcome, Nemo. What do you think you want this to happen? Not what you think is actually going to happen with the low expectations. What do you think is actually going to happen?
Well, I expect that we'll get confirmation that this is an extremely large brass dragon that's buried here. Or I would like to move enough dirt if it is movable. Like, because it's just sitting there. It's not packed in tight. It's not like... Because, like, that's what's holding the dirt down, right? Because she was able to scoop it up and move it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, like, packed in. It's not like clay. Like, if you reverse gravity on something that's solid, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to... It might move if the dragon isn't... You know, like, because it's... I don't know
Is
how to
big-
scientifically explain it.
I mean, yeah, I was going to suggest I could either polymorph into something to help with the digging, or I can maybe use Bixby's hand to, a large hand to assist with the scooping to help dig it out.
All right. So, Elevorn, the point that you could see would be at like the furthest exposed bit of tail that Netadion uncovered. And from that point, a 50-foot radius around that, which, it is a point that is below the level where you guys are standing, so it would affect the stuff in that area.
And I was. Oh, go ahead.
Can I, while they're trying to think something to do, can I take a short rest?
Oh, you start to rest? Yeah, sure.
Short rest. At least try to. I don't know what's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
happen.
You start resting. That's fine. Just to get back.
Mentally exhausted,
Yeah, just take a little siesta. Pull out the tressum, pet the kitty, relax.
I'll keep an eye out on little bit though, but
All right.
little minor headache,
So, I guess first things first, as Era, you have your book out and you're eyeing Bigby's hand after seeing Netadion go through and move stuff. Like, I could do that too. In the meantime, Elevorn, are you casting reverse gravity?
Yeah.
Okay. Elevorn directs you all to stand back. Even me, Vos asks, still in mist. Is what you're doing going to affect those that have not turned back?
Yeah, I think it affects everything. I mean, should.
Floats back away. Focusing on that point that you can see, you begin to weave and cast the spell. You guys begin to see a sort of distortion, a warping of the area that Elevorn is affecting and casting with their magic, and then you see a twitch of the tail of the brass dragon that you had begun to uncover, and puts a few of you on edge. But then the tail itself begins to rise and float almost as if on its own, as it begins to fall upward. The tail standing as if, gravity has been reversed in its area. And then you can see dust and debris beginning to also fall upward, hovering about 100 feet above where you guys are standing right now. Larger chunks of earth. First, maybe about 10 seconds in, the first one breaks free and falls upward. And then after that, more and more of these chunks of earth begin to break away from where they are. The tail itself getting freed up slowly but surely. Elevorn, you're maintaining concentration on the spell. You're about 20 seconds into it as you begin to see these large chunks of earth being dislodged, and more of the tail, and eventually perhaps the body of this dragon being unveiled to you. About 20 seconds in, you realize that, once this spell is over, this spell is over. Is there anything that you wish to do as more chunks of earth begin to break free and fill the top of this cylindrical area?
Well, I mean, if we could bat them away somehow, because they don't have gravity. If we push them to the side, it would leave it unburied. So if the big bee's hand was possible, just to like push the stuff that doesn't weigh anything, like it's the wrong gravitational, like whatever. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. There's not much I could do personally because I'm casting a spell.
Yes.
Well, you know. I'm not sure. It seems like you're suggesting something, and I'm not sure what
What
it
I'm
is.
saying is that when this is done, it's all just gonna fall right back down.
Right. So we can use Big B's hand then, right? Push it out of
You
the
could,
move
yes, but you have to do it.
it. Okay. Well, sorry, I was muted. Like,
Oh,
I
I'm
don't.
sorry. I'm staring at a spell.
Which one?
Your spell, yeah. Okay, so again, a short ways into the spell, Elevon, the realization that all of the work and all of the what you are uncovering as you're excited to see it beginning to work and progress being made, uncovering the earth around the area that you had cast the spell on. In less than a minute, it's all going to come crumbling down.
Okay, so I'll say that. This is all gonna fall very shortly. If we could move it, that would be really good. I mean,
My
finish
bad.
the
I was.
casting.
Yeah, I was under the impression I already had Big B's hand up.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So then I would just cast that and move it out of the way.
Gotcha. So, taking more steps back as the Earth becomes dislodged and falls at, gravity speeds upwards. Bigby's hand at the top of that, just sweeping and scooping and batting him away. Giant swaths and chunks of earth being scattered around the area. By the end of the minute, your concentration ends, Elevorn. One or a few of these large chunks of earth that had been rising suddenly stop for just a brief split second before falling and crumbling back down. What you're left with is as well as the tail of the dragon as well, slumping and landing with a thud back, this time kind of not falling back into the area that had been raised from, but now kind of slumping over in a different area. You've uncovered about, say, 40, 50 feet of tail, and still just tail. At this point, it's nearing like a full dragon's, at least dragons that you're familiar with, dragons that are around this area that you've seen thus far, length of tail.
I need the BRB.
Okay. I think you only had till 5, right, Max?
We can go a bit longer. Okay with that. Well,
Oh, okay, I was under the assumption that you had to. Because normally we go 4, I think. 4 hours. But you got something. It's fine. I was planning on 3 because you had mentioned 3 in the chat.
I think I was just doing my math.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. But I think 5 works better for us anyway. We have stuff that we have to take care of.
Okay. What are you taking care of?
Stuff as in a dog
A
at
dog.
someone else's house.
Dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, wow. Indeed. A woo 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 woo. I didn't know you spoke dog.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a dog all my life. They're taste buds.
Their taste buds?
Yeah, there was the whole thing. It was like taste. My pickiness with food comes from the individual flavors that I taste from it.
Oh, you taste everything individually?
Yeah. which dogs do as well.
I don't know. I think I can do that too, but
Yeah.
it enhances my enjoyment of food.
Oh no, it
Makes
kills
me
it for
less
me.
picky. You know, like chocolate burgers, they're great.
It's why I can't handle salty and sweet. It's unbearable. They're polar
Really?
opposites. Yeah, I cannot
So
deal.
like, what? Give me an example of that.
I think the only
Like
thing
a
that is
chocolate
okay,
covered pretzel or something.
that's the only thing that's okay. And I think I've just
Yeah.
become accustomed to it. You mentioned something once that you said was like there was a burger that you had, I think. Was it like a
Oh yeah,
pineapple one?
the peanut butter and banana burger.
Yeah, no, I can't. No, 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 no. Just thinking
So
about it.
good.
Oh,
So good.
oh my god.
We're talking about weird burgers now.
It's not weird. It's delicious.
Hell no, that's weird as shit. I can't deal.
It's
Pineapple on
just a
pizza doesn't
burger
work either.
with
No,
peanut butter and banana.
pineapple on pizza is good.
I can't deal with it. On top of the fact that like everyone wants to go at each other's throats, the cheese is too savory and the pineapple is too sweet.
I couldn't. It
At
sounded
least-
good to me. Like I watched Deadpool. I'm like, huh, pineapple and olive sounds like an okay
Oh my-
combination. I'll try.
Oh no,
Olives
that's
are
even
nasty.
worse. Olives are so fucking bitter. There's no way I can't deal.
Yeah, olives are nasty.
And then amplified even more so by like Hawaiian pizza, where it's fucking ham, pineapple, and like the
That's
cheese. No,
good.
no, I can't.
Hawaiian is good,
I can't.
but you have to put blue cheese on pizza.
What's
Blue cheese.
blue
Blue
cheese?
cheese.
You know
yeah,
what?
blue cheese on pizza.
Blue
is-
cheese has mold in it.
Yeah, that's fine. It increases your immune system.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it doesn't kill you, right?
exactly. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
But yeah, I'm back.
Webba.
Oh. Well, sorry.
She snuck in here as well as Neri. Yeah, I've been back this whole time. You guys didn't know
I've been
that?
back this whole time that I've been having a conversation with you guys. Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a bee.
Oh.
Not the beast.
It's fine.
No,
I chased it
please.
off into the balconies and put the door closed the door, and it's fine.
Well, that's why you don't let the outside in. Like, just.
I'm trying to keep it outside. I have even, my balcony is closed off, but they still find a way.
Bees find a way.
Would your cats
Yeah.
get them?
Yeah, that's what I was, because I heard Luna going around,
Oh,
and it was
no.
like, what is she chasing? And it was like, okay, it doesn't look good.
Nimue Max?
I'm here.
All right. So,
No.
you guys have uncovered about a dragon's length of brass dragon tail. All of it the slightly discolored brass color. Whether it be just the sheer size of this dragon or the fact that it appears to have been buried here. It seems like it's a bit better preserved as far as its color than the other dragons that you have seen as you were getting here.
Yeah, at this point, I thought we might uncover something with this dragon, but I don't know if it's worth continuing at this rate.
It's huge.
That might be information enough, to be honest.
Is this even wise, actually, that we are doing this?
It's probably the one you were talking about, right, boss?
I can't imagine it being anything else.
Could
That
we?
it's here, that it's not responding.
Well, maybe we could take a sample with us to. I know that we don't want to disrespect anything, but it doesn't look right, does it?
I don't know. I've heard of mm, I can't say. It's definitely not anything I'm familiar with.
I just mean the color.
Yes. Yeah, I've never seen coloration on a brass dragon before. But I've don't seen many at all. Certainly none as large or old as this one. But if this is the brass dragon's leader, the eldest, dead.
Well, maybe
Right.
not.
Well, if not, then we certainly must uncover it. We can't just leave. Yeah?
Well, if they're subterranean, maybe it is resting, because that's old and doesn't need as much. I don't know how dragons work. I just know that bears can hibernate, for like periods of time. And I mean, they don't just sleep the whole time, but they mostly sleep the whole time, to recover. Well, I mean, they do it for the season, not to recover, but it would maybe.
That is an idea. I suppose we can try digging it out further. Just everyone put their biggest effort forward and just dig it out.
Well, then I would have to, just use my hands pretty much, unless we take a longer rest. Then I can do that one thing again.
You should probably rest while the rest of us work and come add your aid when you can. As Vos, you can see his physical form turning, so now everybody is out of mist.
Well, I'll at least try to keep an eye out on, if vultures or something comes our way.
Svenka looks around. Can't imagine you have any shovels. Those seemingly endless bags of yours.
That is a good question. Let me see.
I don't think I backed any.
Why would you need a shovel? Who brings shovels?
There's a pack that comes with one, but I don't think I have it.
Was it the Explorers pack or the Dungeoneers or which one?
I think it might have been the Dungeoneers, but I'm pretty sure I went with Explorers. No, I don't have any.
Nobody has a shovel.
I can be turned into something they can dig.
Badges! Badges everywhere! Giant
Yeah.
badges.
A lot of them.
A bunch of
like
badges.
5th level conjure animals. Just
I mean,
badgers.
That would work for me too if we need to turn, us into something. I can be turned into a badger or something that can dig.
If I turn this into an animal now, I won't be able to windwalk us. So I'm trying to save that because I feel like we want windwalk, right? But
You could upcast Windwalk if you wanted to. I don't know if you have higher level stuff.
Well, that's what I would need to do, is to upcast it. No. Because I get 1 slot of 6, 1 slot of 7, 1 8.
I mean, you're supposed to best. So I was just saying that if needed, then I'm more than welcome to volunteer to be turned into something if that is an option that we're going for.
Do you think Gildy could help? Like asking around.
I'm sure he would not be opposed to. I've put him
And
through worse.
I could put polymorph in the ring for Neridian if she has space in her ring, because I'll be concentrating on the animals. I can't do both. But if you'd like,
Yeah, there is space in my ring. Yeah.
so I will put a polymorph spell in her ring first.
Okay. So, polymorph goes into the. And then you're casting conjure animals at what level?
Hold on, I was looking. Just need a moment.
If so, I have a question. If we're trying, I know we're digging it up, right? But we're under the assumption, or at least have some hope that it's just hibernating under there, according to Elevorn.
Theories have been
Theories.
That, yes. So it does not seem to have been disturbed by the disturbances that you have disturbed it with thus far.
Yeah, but I mean, its tail's already kind of unburied.
I was thinking, are we trying to find if it's alive? Because we probably have other means to find out whether it's alive.
Well, so the only thing I can think of is that I can try to do like detect thoughts, but I don't know if that's worth dropping Big B's hand at this time because it would also be concentration. But if that's what we're like mainly trying to confirm, I imagine it's an intelligent creature. So I think detect thoughts would work on it.
You can do that? You can like see inside people's minds?
More read the thoughts of certain creatures, assuming it's alive.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, that's what we want to know, right? Is if it's alive. I mean, I don't think it's. I don't know.
I guess I could. You were saying?
I was just gonna say, it's not that I think it's not alive, it's just that I didn't know you could do that. So I was trying to like unearth it more to find out if it, would respond or something. Yeah. But I mean, that's really cool.
I guess I'll drop Bigby's hand and I'll try it.
Alright. So you're casting detect thoughts. Okay. So at first, you're focusing on the dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get its surface thoughts? Nothing? Which, I don't know if it's hibernating or not, if it's... What would a surface thoughts be? What's on its mind at the moment? Nothing is currently on its mind. You may attempt to probe deeper.
Probing.
Probing. All right. What is your spell save DC?
DC.
It's 18, I think.
And it's a wisdom save.
Where is it? 19.
19.
You have 19 now? Holy biscuits!
That's a lot.
My
But-
God.
Nothing from probing deeper. Unable to probe deeper.
I'm not getting anything.
Now, either way, the target knows you're probing into its mind.
Uh,
Is it an enemy? Does it have -2 to the saving throw?
Is it an enemy?
I don't know. That's
It's
very
not
weird.
currently hostile towards it. You're not currently hostile. It's not currently hostile towards you. You're not currently
No.
hostile towards it.
Right?
So I'd say no.
Exactly.
Kick it.
What if I kick it?
no, don't kick the dragon.
We are now
We're not trying
enemies.
to provoke.
Take that. -2 to all your saving throws.
That's what we call metagaming.
I could never.
Okay. So, how many badgers are coming out? Or what level with the spell are you to unburrowing? Yeah, level 1.
5. Fifth
Fifth
level.
spell. So, with the combined effort of the badgers, the rest of you, Netadion, you're polymorphing into one as well to help dig.
Unless they don't want to be one.
Devon, would you like to be an aminal?
Sure, put me to work.
Okay.
Get to the mines, boy. So, alongside
Diggy
Devon,
diggy hole.
you have to dig deeper and deeper as you uncover the dragon, but slowly you do begin to see haunches, rear legs, a large, hulking, muscular torso with wings that, well, you don't even fully uncover the wings as you're continuing forward. By the time you're done, Elevorn, your conjure animals has worn out. Continuing on with, Duran, the polymorph wears out, and you have to finish it up by either hand or Netadion with her telekinetic movement. By the time you're finished completely unburying or unearthing this dragon, Windwalk has worn off. By the time you get to the head of this large brass, this massive brass dragon, you are perhaps 40 to 50 feet under the earth. You can see, by the time you get there, you realize that this gigantic creature is in fact deceased.
No.
Its lower jaw missing. Around where its shoulder would be, you could see the size comparison as you find one of the heads of a green dragon that was missing. Its teeth still lodged into the shoulder of the green dragon and shorn off there. The shoulder of the brass dragon, sorry. So a green dragon's head and jaw clamped down, biting into the shoulder of the brass dragon, and rest of its body lays about 50 feet up on the surface. Walking at a normal pace, it takes you close to a minute to go from head to tail. About 45 seconds to walking at a normal pace to cover the length of this dragon.
Oh my god. This dragon's 2 blocks long.
This is the largest creature that you ever. Let me just think about that. The purple worm might be longer, but larger in a different way. Large and different. The color of the scales is almost entirely that sort of oxidized green color with just flecks of its shiny brass coloring coming through. The eyes open, empty. You can see many slashes, wounds, bite marks all along the extent of the body. Without a doubt, at least in Volsa's mind, this was the ruler of the brass dragons in this area, in this territory. He says, as you all reconvene on the surface. This is their plan. They're targeting metallic dragons. What does that mean? Why are they targeting us as well? What is their goal? And if they could stop them. I don't know if there's anything else below. And then looks to Elevorn, but I need to get back to much Chroma. I need to deliver this word.
Yeah, I know time is of the essence, but
Svenkrid speaks up in a voice barely above a whisper. Rebury.
I feel like maybe we should, because I think maybe he was buried by survivors. We should try to lay him to rest, right? Or her. I don't know how to. I mean, if I'm unfamiliar with dragon customs, or even
I would agree. For whatever reason, there must have been a reason why buried here. At least until we or someone else who we can trust can return here to maybe dig a bit further, find out more if there's more to find out here. We should keep it the very minimum as well hidden. And then in agreement with Voss, we should continue to Metcoma.
Is there anything, I mean, do you, and looking to Durand and Svenkrid, is there, I mean, you believe he's with Bahamut now, right? So it's not, is that how it works, or?
Well, in general, if we were to assume metallic dragons tend towards the worship of Bahamut, if this one was a follower, then yes. However, cannot really tell. There are a number of dragon gods.
Oh, I didn't know.
Ideally, what you believe would be true.
It just feels wrong just to bury it again, that's all. Hey.
Well, if, and I'm sure we can assume with a fair degree of certainty that they died protecting their brood, their family, their home from what is clearly a number of invaders. Well, that is honorable, in the very least.
Yeah.
And that is most certainly a tenet of Bahamut. We should honor that honor. Time, of course, is of essence, so I will make this quick and then we can get on with what we need to do. And Svenkrid, clutching his holy symbol, gives a brief prayer and send off for the honor and valor of the death of this gigantic brass dragon. And those that you save will surely remember and be grateful. Now, you rest, and we must go to do what we can to right the wrong that has befallen you. And you guys get to work at undoing all of the work that you had done over the course of the last couple hours. Burying is a little bit easier than unburying, especially if you're quick about it.
What if I just turn into something big like a T-Rex and just
kick it? Just kick dirt over it?
Swoosh it,
Just
and
swoosh
all
it?
in with
Oh,
the tail.
swoosh. Alright, you still have the poly. You weren't helping with it. You want another polymorph?
Yeah. I'll make quick
Okay.
work of it.
On this sinkhole, this very sturdy land, this very sturdy ground, you're gonna turn into a T-Rex, huh?
The most sturdiest of the
The
lands.
most sturdiest of ground.
I have no polymorph to keep.
I have a polymorph I could give you to give him.
But do you have slots to turn us into, winged again?
Yeah. I could also conjure more animals again, the same amount. But, we have enough for that. And then also wind. And then also some other miscellaneous smaller things.
Okay.
I could
So
make
you're
it
conjuring
foggy.
animals, Alavorn?
Yeah, I mean, unless they want polymorph, because I'll give her another polymorph.
Okay.
Boop in the ring.
So the badgers get to work at burying, pushing the dirt back over the corpse of the brass dragon. You have a polymorph in the ring, Neridion.
Okay, Durand. Do you want it or
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
What are you turning him into?
does he want to be a T-Rex? Do you want to be a T-Rex or
You want to be a T-Rex? Or...
It'll get the job done quicker, sure.
Alright.
okay?
So polymorph Daran into a T-Rex. And Daran, you begin to go around using your tail, swooshing that verb, the dirt back over the body of the brass dragon in large heaps and swaths. Can you roll a percentile dice for me, please?
Oh my. It's the best number it can be.
What's that?
Foretold. I foretold
What's
it.
that?
Whatever the best number is.
Oh, what's that?
It is. What is that? 70? 70.
70. So it's a 60 and a 0?
70 is 16 and 0 is a 7.
Yeah, 60. That would be 60 plus 10. 70 and a 0 would be 80.
Oh, then it's 80.
Okay. Doesn't make a difference. It's more than 30, which was the number I had arbitrarily chosen. You're able to expedite the process
Hell yeah.
and get the dragon covered in a relatively short amount of time, especially compared to the amount of time it took to unbury it. Once you're done, the animals are dispelled, the polymorph drops. Alavorn, you cast the Windwalk spell on everyone again, and with this information that you have uncovered here, follow Vos back to the road, path, and continue your way towards Metchroma as the sun begins its descent in the sky. That's where we'll pick up next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Woo!
You guys wanted to leave. There's nothing here, you said.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
Just dead things.
Hey, this is nothing. Can't read the minds of the dead.
Gonna be
Why
a
not?
zombie dragon after us soon.
Yeah.
How dare you desecrate the grave of our valiant leader?
Who would bury it?
You monsters!
Shame on us.
Who would what?
Who would bury a dragon?
The other dragons?
Well,
Or
where are
maybe
they?
it fell from the sky, and because it's so huge, it just buried itself naturally, because the ground is
Yeah, or that.
what it is. You know, not a happy thought, but. Or maybe it dug its way in because it didn't want to be left to the vultures as it was expiring. Just sad.
Well, I'll see you guys next week, hopefully. Are you guys good for next week at the moment?
Yeah, I am.
Cool. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So you've been playing a lot of 16? When did that come out?
I don't know. The
Isn't it
days have meshed
22nd?
together.
It's not that long, like 22nd, I think.
Oh.
On Thursday, whatever day that was. What day are we on?
Sunday?
It's Monday.
So however days in between Sunday and
However
Thursday.
days it's been.
It was Thursday, 22nd.
Okay. Have you been playing it, Sally?
No, I
Okay.
don't have money.
You need a PlayStation 5.
I have a
Oh.
PlayStation 5, but I
Cool.
don't have the money to buy the game.
I just have the PlayStation. I don't have the game.
It's been
much is
what
Rough.
the game?
16.
I
Normal
don't
Um,
actually
game
know.
price or
I guess so. Yeah. Depends on what version you want to buy, of course.
I don't know.
no,
I got the the deluxe edition. I spent 90.
the definitive edition?
The deluxe.
Deluxe.
What do you get with that?
A nice, a very well made map. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a cloth map, even.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A steel box. And two.
Did you get the digital?
I got a pay to win
or
weapon that
something?
I didn't use.
Pay to win weapon.
Yeah, you start off in the game with with a weapon with 80 attack and 80 stagger. The one that it gives you from the DLC thing, not the DLC, but the downloaded thing is 130, which is a lot. Like I
Oh,
just got a 130 attack and stagger weapon, and I'm level freaking 20. So having that at 1 would have been crazy. I'd say
You
that's
definitely
probably.
used it.
No. I put it on, and one, not only is the attack an issue, I don't like how it looks. Every other weapon he has it fits into what he is wearing in one way or another. This thing is literally just the Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy 1 sword just on your back.
Oh,
Yeah. The other thing
see.
that you get isn't pay to win, but I didn't see the point in it. It was like 30% extra gil when you killed something.
Is it pay to lose? Is that?
I guess, yeah. Pay to get paid in the game for what?
But for money, because money is
The
gil is the
gil.
most important thing in any game.
It doesn't feel like that, especially with the way that. Well, I guess I'm not having that much of a difficult time with it, which was gonna be my next thing. There's no difficulty. There's really just it in
Well,
the
turn
beginning.
the difficulty up.
There's no difficulty.
Just turn
Stop
it off
playing on easy
anyway.
mode. It's that simple.
Just turn it on hard mode.
There's two
Yeah.
options when you start the game. It says story focused and action
And
focused.
baby, and you chose baby.
No, story focused. It said that it has you equipped with things that make it easier. So like auto dodge, auto combo.
Oh, so lame.
Exactly, yeah. But then I'm playing in the action mode anyways, and then I get like a little tutorial thing, and it's like, don't worry, we've given you the items in your inventory. And I look at my inventory, and I have the items anyways. Screw you, I don't want
The
this.
auto dodge and everything inventory.
It's in my inventory. I don't have it equipped, but it's there if I wanted to put it on. And it's like, why would I have picked action mode if I wanted that stuff?
It's kind of weird.
That is a bit weird.
The combat does feel really, really good.
Okay.
In the beginning, it's very just you've only got one thing, so you're really only doing a square spam for the most
so you're
part.
button mashing.
At the end, you press triangle and you perform a magic burst. Excuse you.
It's a button. It's Final Fantasy Dynasty Warriors. That's pretty cool.
It gets intricate later with like aerial
More skills and
combat,
whatnot,
more
right?
skills, hitting the counters. Nothing in this game has felt better than hitting. You have two counters: a physical counter and a magic counter. And when a boss tries to use some really big charged up move on you and you just time it perfectly to hit the magic counter and then you slash it like 8 times, I'm like, oh my god. This feels so nice.
So it's a fighting game.
It is. It feels like Devil May Cry, kind of, sort of.
Really?
A little bit.
It used to just be a Monster Hunter type combat system. That would be great in a Final Fantasy game.
There would need to be... Well, there is a portion of it that feels a little bit more weighted. Like, okay, is anybody here playing? I'm playing it.
I am.
I'll be stupidly vague then.
No, you don't have to be vague. I'll forget it by the time I manage to buy it.
There is 2 types of combat. There is your regular combat as a person, but there is another combat where you fight as an icon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so we're in White Knight Chronicles.
You know what? That's probably a closer... yeah, that's probably closer. That's probably closer to what it is. Yes, exactly. Exactly that.
I like that game.
It was great. Oh my god, I need to get it again. I need to play it.
It was on the what was it, the PS, the Now or whatever it is?
It should be on PS Now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what it is. Imagine basically that game. That game is the whole entire combat system, which feels really, really nice.
That's cool.
It's like an upgraded version.
Combat.
I like all of the... We have Soken back, by the way, which... When...
The music is gonna be awesome.
The music is so good. And let me tell you, it's not too much of... It's not really a spoiler. Imagine we're gonna have to fight all the icons. Right? Just put that into your head. We have to. There's no way that we're gonna go through the entire game and not fight each one of the individual icons. Let me tell you how when I got to Garuda, and right in the beginning of this amazing orchestral, like, it sounds so good, but you hear this slight leitmotif of dun 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 dun, and I was like, oh, I saw you. I know Soken. I know you, you bastard. You put that in there. It was nice. It was so nice.
That's awesome. Garuda's is a good one. Garuda's is solid. Garuda's is probably one of the best.
This is...
I think my favorite, personally, is still Sephiroth.
Ooh, his is really nice, too. Really, really, really good. I mean, I can't complain.
The transition of Shiva's, just like the snap into the... I like that.
Yeah.
The Alexander trumpets are amazing. Brute Justice.
Brute Justice.
I think that's what it's called. Hold on. Let me... I have a little bot friend here.
Yeah. Let him play it. Let him play.
Let me see. I think this is the one. I'm not sure. I'm not going to pre-listen to it, so I might be completely wrong. Just tossing it in there.
Yeah, throw it in. I'll find the Garuda one too.
The what?
The Garuda. The first 15 seconds, yeah.
Tell me, is Garuda as beautiful as it is in 4K?
Yes. Yeah, this one? That's the one you're talking about. The Voltron?
That's the last one, yeah. It's like 4, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The big old skirt guy. But you don't get the trumpets until you get to the last bit, which is like the most stressful bit of the fight. And this is like way too cheery for that, I think, but it's still great somehow. I don't know.
Yes. I don't remember how to play this. Is it exclamation? No.
Slash
/play. Yeah.
Um,
Input.
YouTube. True input, then paste it. Ifrit versus Garuda. Oh, you're Ifrit, right?
Yes, that's the icon you turn into.
Because Fire Nation.
Yes.
When they attack.
You know what bugs me a little bit?
Hmm.
Jill kind of reminds me of Tifa.
Yeah. Both you and Max said that. If both of
It's
you,
the fucking hairstyle.
if you guys didn't say anything, I would have been none the wiser. But
What are you talking
yes.
The hairstyle and the face shape is kind of similar. The eyes are
Your-
different, but otherwise it's like
Who are you talking about?
Your childhood friend in the game, is a girl named Jill, and she, when it was brought up to me, yes, she looks 1000% like Tifa, like,
Oh, jeez.
like, at least change the hairstyle, please.
yeah, just because the bangs are on the different side, it's not
It's
enough.
not good enough. No.
It's not enough. And it's a little bit
Like a,
on the
Oh no, that's
grayer
just Tifa.
side.
That's straight up Tifa.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100. That's just Tifa. Why?
I don't know. She doesn't even have like the same attitude. Nobody in this game I can really relate to anyone so far.
It's just worse Tifa.
Downgraded Tifa.
Downgraded Tifa.
Downgraded
No.
Tifa. Yeah, downgraded by a cup or two.
It has been great. I'm actually about to just go do that again. I've been streaming.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, also for anyone that wants to watch, like people in the Discord.
Oh wow! Like on the first page of the image results, there's literally like a side by side of like fan art of Tifa and Joe. Just put a mirror image, change the colors up a bit, done. Nailed it. New character. No, I played the 7 remake. Did you guys play that?
Yeah.
That was
I haven't
awesome.
finished it or anything. I should get onto it.
Did they add more to that yet?
There is no disc 2 yet.
It's coming
But
out.
they add like some minor stuff to it.
There was a DLC
Yeah.
where you play as
'Cause I
Yuffie.
finished the disc 1 part of it. Good time.
I'm still very at the beginning. I really should get onto it.
It's fun.
It's very
I
good, yeah.
know it.
I'm 100%ing this game. I might even go so far.
100%.
I've only played this game for what, like 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm already contemplating getting a tattoo of the brand on his face.
Well, don't do it
Like-
before you finish the game. What if it finishes and it's like the most disappointing thing ever? And
Endings can definitely make or break a game. And right now, I can't figure everything that's going out, but there is a potential for bullshittery, and I don't like that.
That's why I never finish a game, you know?
True. I just quit right now while it's still fucking amazing, eh?
There you go. You're like, oh man, I wish
I
knew
can't
how it
complain.
ended. Well, that's the key. That's the strategy right there. Alright. I gotta get going.
Oh yeah. Go on, brother.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Oh, bye stream.